Have you ever been caught up in the moment, say on a vacation or a trip, where you just take in the beautiful scenery around you and forget to listen to your gut feeling telling you that something just doesn't seem right and something isn't the way it should be? Well, I've experienced that. Recently, my family went on a vacation to Hawaii. We visited the island of Maui, which the island is about 30 miles wide, and my family, we really like to do non-touristy stuff and kind of experience what the locals have to offer in our vacations and travels. So we rented a Jeep and we had a condo that was located kind of in the center of the island, and we started asking around to the locals and see what there was to offer. And everyone talks about the road to Hana, how it's really amazing and it's a really beautiful drive as you take in the scenery. So we decided we'd go on this trip. We took off the Jeep top and took off the doors and kind of let in all the breeze and sea air as we drove through. And we went through the town of Lahaina. And we decided to stop at Paradise Burger and have a bite to eat before we continued on. And we decided to, instead of taking a right back to our condo, we were going to take a left and see what the road had to offer, as it's an island and obviously it'd take us back to our condo at some point. So we continued on this journey, and as we were driving down the road, we were taking in the beautiful scenery as there was a cliff on our left side with the ocean and the crashing waves. It was really peaceful. And then the mountain on our right with the greenery and the different cliffs and stuff it had to offer. So we continued on, and we saw this vehicle sitting on the side of the road, and they were stopped waving at us, and we thought that they were just being friendly. It was a group of locals, but we didn't stop to think that maybe them going like this meant stop. We just thought it was them being friendly to us. We continued on, and we went around the corner, and all of a sudden we saw this Ford Expedition. And the road by now had gotten down to about 15 feet wide. It was enough for one car to go by, and we thought maybe another. Well, once this Expedition came, we were locked in and we knew that we'd have to pass each other. Well, the lady driving the Expedition was a local from the island, and she came up beside us, and I looked out the window to notice that half of her tire was hanging off the cliff. And this wasn't a 50-foot cliff. This was a 1,000-foot drop-off to rocks waiting in the ocean. And so as we went by this lady, she acted like it was no big deal, but us being not from the island, we started to freak out and didn't realize the severity of the situation at hand. Eventually, though, we slowly got past her and we continued on, and the road got even more narrow, but luckily we didn't encounter any more oncoming cars. As we got back to the condo, my dad started thinking on the situation, and we realized that maybe that car was telling us to stop because it knew that there was oncoming traffic coming. And we stopped in a local grocery store and we talked to one of the ladies, and she said, "Oh, y'all went to the West Maui Road. Didn't y'all know that y'all aren't supposed to go from the south to the north? You're only supposed to go from north to south?" Well, realizing that, we also found that it was quite absurd and kind of ridiculous we kind of felt foolish. The moral of the story here is there's always more to the story than what meets the eye. Never take your first instincts to be the truth, and stop and take a moment to really think about what might happen based on somebody else's actions.